It's here.
Hello?
Have you checked the children?
They're all pots, all of them.
Whatever you do, don't fall asleep.
I'm afraid!
Don't be afraid.
No. Be afraid. Be very afraid.
Here's Gingy.
Pain has a face. Allow me to show it to you. Gentlemen, I am pain.
I met this 6-year-old child with this blank, pale, emotionless face. The blackest eyes. The devil's eyes.
You think that when you die, you go to heaven. You come to us.
Hi, I'm Chucky. Wanna play?
I think he's in trouble.
Julie, this guy, if he can't take a joke, he stinks.
When there's no more room in hell, the dead will walk here.
Greetings, flesh wound horror freaks, and welcome to a brand new, totally tubular edition of Flesh Wound Horror. I am Daniel Shine, joined as always by the Whack Todd Loya and Pugs Dread. Gentlemen, how goes your evening? Something a little different tonight.
Namaste, doing pretty rad. Pretty rad
Yes.
myself.
All goes well.
Cool. This is so we're here tonight to talk about the Vinegar Syndrome 4K release of Rad, which is something that people were quite excited about for a very long time. And I have a confession because I wasn't sure. I have never seen Rad. It dawned on me, especially once I got it and I saw, Lori Loughlin, Talia Shire. I was like, okay, I never saw this back in the day. It's not my genre. I mean, we'll get into it here in a little bit. But is this a first-time viewing for you guys?
For me,
I was 9 when it came out. So if you watch the extras, Dan, I am like the exact person this movie should have been marketed to. Because they marketed it towards teenagers, but they said it should have been marketed towards the younger ones. Because that's who went and saw it. But not enough. So I'm saving my opinion till the end. But why don't you let our viewers / listeners know what this movie's about. And we should welcome, hopefully we have some new eyes and ears. So this is departure of our normal topics of horror and other debauchery. So
some new peeps.
Yeah. So
we like all kinds of crap over here. So.
Yes. So please check our other stuff too while you're at it. So Dan, kick us off with the synopsis.
All right, guys. So yes, we will try not to traumatize you too much, but we can do that on other episodes. So yes. So Rad from 1986, my year of birth, in fact, is from director Hal Needham. Needham. There you go. I botched that. I'm sorry.
Director of Smokey and the Bandit. Come on.
I know. Legend. Cannonball Run. And Todd, you know what else he directed? Body Slam. That is definitely one I saw back in the day. Wow. Anyway.
I did not know he directed Body Slam.
So yes, the more you know. All right. Crew Jones is the fastest and most talented BMX rider in his small logging town. When Duke Best, owner of Mongoose Bicycles, decides to hold a competition at a nearly impossible to compete BMX racing course named Hell Track, Crew decides that it's in his destiny to compete in the race, which offers a winning cash prize of $100,000. But unknown to Crew, Duke has concocted the race as a publicity stunt to promote his own top rider, Bart Taylor, and begins to do everything in his power to prevent Crew from being able to enter into the competition. And to make matters even more complicated, Crew soon learns that the race is scheduled the same day he's supposed to take the SATs and finds himself with a choice between his future in college and a race where all the odds are stacked against him. Among the most beloved films to emerge from the mid-'80s BMX bike craze, Rad has developed an ever-growing cult audience and stars Bill Allen, Lori Loughlin, two-time Academy Award nominee Talia Shire, Golden Globe nominee Jack Weston, real-life Olympic champion Bart Connor, and more. Directed by the prolific stuntman and filmmaker Hal Needham, and this fun, fast-paced, and inspiration for many future pro BMX superstars makes its belated Blu-ray and 4K Ultra HD debut from Vinegar Syndrome in a brand new, breathtaking 4K restoration from its original 35mm camera negatives. All right, so
real quick, I'm just throwing this out here. Hal Needham was they used him for the basis of Cliff Booth in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yes. Yeah. Icon. I mean, he goes way back. So, all right, Pugs, was this the first time for you too?
It was the first time watch, but I've heard about this movie. I have a BMX friend on Instagram, Backflip Ray. Shout out. He's mentioned this movie a bunch of times, and I just never got around to it. But thankfully, our friends at Vinegar decided to bring it to us in this beautiful, beautiful format.
Yes. I mean, when I saw this was getting a 4K release, I was like, holy shit. And again, this is not my genre. I'm not really a sport movie kind of guy. I wasn't a sport movie kind of kid.
Just say, Dan, you're not a sports guy.
I like pro wrestling, the greatest sport in the
Again,
world.
not a sports guy.
But
you know
although
what?
I will
don't let this physique fool you. I'm like Dan. I'm not really a big sports guy either.
Same. Yet I like sports movies.
Yeah, no, it's interesting. I mean, so this one just slipped past my radar. I mean, if it was like a sex comedy, I mean, if it was Hot Dog the movie, I probably, wouldn't have missed it. But
it
somehow
shares
I
a lot
did.
of similarities to Hot Dog, though.
Yeah, minus some certain things for sure.
Well, one's for children, one's for
this
adults.
is true. Now, I did see BMX Bandits with Nicole Kidman from the great Brian Trenchard Smith. So, I did see some of the BMX craze. I like that one. I remember liking that one.
I need to revisit.
Yeah, I have the Blu-ray and I haven't. But so, there were some. But for some reason, I just didn't see Rad. I don't know. But the legend certainly has grown over the years. This one was like requested ridiculous. I mean, going back like a decade plus, I remember it's like put it out, DVD, Blu-ray. And I just always assumed that there was legal issues, which there obviously was a convoluted mess in terms of, foreign distributors and all that good stuff. I won't lie. I was not like super psyched going into it. And I'll be honest, this one's, I kind of get the love for it.
It won you over?
It did win me over. It's not my typical cup of tea, but I totally get the love for this one, especially right now. It's just a very, I can see the nostalgia and how this would put a smile on your face just, right now with all the crap going down in the world and everything. There's a great cast, as I mentioned, Talia Shire. There's all sorts of familiar faces. Lori Loughlin, of course. I feel like there needs to be a sequel where she's just getting out of jail, and they could kind of tie some of that in. But
when I was watching it, I felt like, oh, it's a young Michael Berryman with hair falling in love with a young Aunt Becky on a Goonies type racing adventure. I think this movie is adorable. I liked it a lot. It's cute as hell. My favorite part.
When we started Flesh Wound Radio, I never thought I'd hear those words, but
but it is.
You say the same thing about Last House on the Left.
That is cute as hell, though. There's the difference.
An adorable AF. But Damn, I lost my train of thought. What was I gonna do?
Adorable as hell.
No, past that. My favorite part, it's a semi-spoiler, but watching an old man flip the bird. It win me over every time.
All I know is what is it? Ray Ralston is Dan. Like that's all I pictured was angry Dan. Except for the end. Like the very beginning, yeah, that was Dan.
You know
why I'm not gonna go ahead.
Real quick. I was disappointed in that Adrian wasn't a little more supportive at first. But like I know you want what's best for your son and stuff, but like you could have been a little less of a hard ass lady.
You know what would have been funny? Sylvester Stallone is like the abusive like stepdad, and they do like a reverse. Like he's like, "You can't do it, kid." It's like
he's the one that died, right?
There you go.
He got alternate
CTE.
history. You got. It got real. But anyways, I will take your insult as a compliment because you know what
I wasn't using as an insult.
It was just
but you're gonna somehow make it worse by saying something I don't want to hear. So let's hear it.
No, Van Damme. Ray Walston, in addition to My Favorite Martian, which classic TV, was also in Star Trek Voyager and Next Generation.
And didn't I just say he was going to ruin it? You know what? And this is
you
started
that. I wasn't going to do it.
No. Well, one, I said exactly what he was going to do. It didn't have to be Van Damme. Two, looking at Pugs and the pillow behind you, now I miss the shot that we never saw Ray Walston play Ed Gein.
Oh, that would have been awesome. Damn it.
But
he was a great actor. Todd, how about you, the old bastard among us that saw this in theaters?
I did not see it in theaters.
Oh, you didn't? Oh, okay, I thought you were.
I had no desire to see this in theaters. And I did not like this growing up. Like my friends obsessed about it.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, it never worked for me. Watching it now, it's so nostalgia filled from that era. I loved it. So it's definitely a turnaround. So yeah,
it is rad.
It is now. And it did use Send Me an Angel Before the Wizard. So I'm just throwing it out there. Good soundtrack. I always like that. But yeah, I don't know if it was just like I had a Dan friend back in the day that made me dig in my feet. But
you can't escape them.
Yeah. But I do like this one now. So I don't know if I was just being an asshole about it.
Probably.
Did you like Sergeant Slaughter playing Big Boss Man?
Yeah, it was like, in the 80s we have like all the Rocky ripoffs, this Karate Kid, and there's a bunch of them. Yeah, this one worked a lot better. It's cheesy as hell. Like the dance with the bikes, I was dying. And you can tell they're sitting on like the bikes that aren't moving.
Yeah, totally.
They're just like, oh, woo. Pretending they do. I was dying. But I had a ton of fun with this. Now I also shocked. Like that's why I led earlier with this is the movie that was made for my age, and it didn't work for me then. But now, yeah, I do really like this one. I definitely feel like I'll watch it again sooner than later.
I like the foul-mouthed little sister, which are like the only times this ever ventures beyond probably a G rating. I thought she was really funny. I wish there were like some blooper out there of like Aunt Becky like spiking her head into the ground on the bike or something. But
you know what? Here, I'm gonna tell you something about the Aunt Becky thing. Like,
don't defend it.
No. I'm not really gonna defend it. I'm like, that's like finding out Harvey Weinstein was like doing some shady shit. Yeah, we all know rich people are using their money and power to get their kids into schools. Holy shit, mind blown. Sorry.
Well, yeah, but you should be punished for it.
Sorry for our first timers. Yeah, we derail.
That's okay. We knew that was going to happen, but no, I mean, like this is so 80s. I mean, I think there's like 2 or 3 like love montages and like there's I mean, this checks like every goddamn box, which is why it's hard not to like smile at it. I mean, you got it like you said,
Dude,
the cop, which is like the nicest cop in the world.
I
feel
expected
like
him to be a big dickhead, and he was not. He was really cool. I want to throw a shout out to the old Coca-Cola cups. Very cool. I want one.
I feel like Rad 2020, you'd have like the cop and he's like just like shooting like a fucking like machine gun chasing the kids on the bikes. In the remake, maybe.
To hear my thoughts, you can join our Patreon. It's way worse.
Are we doing Rad After Dark next?
I feel like this has enough legs and a name value to do a Rad 2. I mean, I don't think it would go to theaters, but
I like Rad 2020. That's a good name.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Because Todd, I mean, again, you're the old one, but BMX really wasn't a huge thing, was it? I mean,
yeah, it was.
Okay.
You don't remember them on the folders like growing up?
Yeah.
They were yeah.
Well, yeah,
And
for me,
skaters.
Shirts,
It was like the same stuff, like Tony Hawk and all that stuff. After it was like the BMX and the.
That felt more 90s to me, but I guess I don't know.
Well, no, it was there in the 80s too, but like skating kind of like blew up and stayed blown up after BMX kind of started to fade away a little bit, it feels like. So that one kind of sustained through the 90s.
Were any of you ever into it at all?
I owned a skateboard and a
and I had a bike. Yeah, I went to motocross. I like that stuff. And they, when in the intermission or like right before the intermission, they had the BMXers go up and do these cool freaking tricks. And yeah, I appreciate that stuff. That's really damn cool. It takes a lot of talent.
Yeah, I'd still go watch like it at something like that. But like I'm not like my friends. They knew all their names and all this. I was like, nerds.
I know Backflip Ray, and that's it.
You never crashed the prom and did the little dance to win the girl.
Okay, that would have been cool.
Yeah. This movie would have been extra cool though if like she ended up being the bike prom queen, and then like some asshole poured pig's blood all over her and went all Columbine. Is that still a good reference, or should I use a different one? Nicholas Cruz.
Damn. Yeah, no. What else is there to follow that up with? So in addition to just putting this out, which would seem like enough, Vinegar Syndrome has stacked this thing with extras. This is, I mean, they went hardcore on this. There is the Stuntman directs an interview, a 16-minute interview with director Hal Needham, which excerpts from an upcoming, apparently feature-length rad documentary we're going to get, which I don't know who that's coming from necessarily, but I'm looking forward to it now. It's coming. And he talks a lot about his history. I mean, this guy goes back to doing stunts on Spirit of St. Louis. I mean, this guy is an icon. And if you don't know him, you should. I still think, Smokey and the Bandit is timeless. This guy has done some truly amazing stuff. Hooper, I remember liking a lot.
I like Hooper too.
Yeah, I haven't watched that, but in a while. He also did Megaforce. I mean, this guy's done some. I'm not saying that's
I was
right on par.
I like it, but that one's not a great one.
But yeah, so he talks a little bit about some of his early stunt work and the wall that they built and how scared shitless that made some of the riders. There's also Writing Something Rad, an interview with writer co-producer Sam Bernard. Very informative. He talks a little bit about the legal mess and everything and why this movie is just sort of unfortunately just taken this long to actually come out. And he does talk a little bit about mismarketing it. They should have gone for the little Todds back then, and they didn't, unfortunately.
Take a page out of your book, Dan.
There you go. There's also a 9-minute compilation footage from the RAD 25th anniversary event from 2011, I believe. We get an archival 25-minute interview segment with various cast and crew that was very informative as well. Bart Connor talks about being a legit Olympic gymnast, and yet to this day there's people that know him as the guy in RAD rather than winning a gold medal. Apparently Shaq even stopped him once and complimented him on how much he loves the movie.
That's cool.
There is a Break the Ice music video, archive, and a couple other archival featurettes from the electronic press kit. This thing is, I really wasn't expecting a lot of extras on this.
I wasn't expecting Dan to like it at all.
I did. I'm a diverse film lover, sir. I mean, this is not my genre, but yeah, no, I had a good time. This was light and fun, and yeah, I kind of wanted to see Lori Loughlin die at the end, but I wasn't expecting that. So
save for the sequel.
For the sequel.
They'll recast her with like Connie Britton. Close enough. Will anyone even really notice?
Yeah, I was gonna say she could have grown up to be Connie Britton. All right, so what do we rate it?
I'm going last. I already know. You already know that.
I'm subtracting a half a point because I forgot his name. Oh, damn it. Oscar from Short Circuit 2. Either way, the villain in this one, he's always been a jerk. And I'm still scarred from Short Circuit 2. This movie's really good. I'm gonna give it a 4.5. A 4. Would have got a 4.5 if he would have been a little nicer.
I'm a 4 as well, and that's a hell of a compliment because it's not generally my genre. I think this will put a smile on your face whether you're into BMX or not.
Yeah. Well, I am a 4 now. I know. Shocker. The only thing is I would have made it better if William Zabka was the bad guy instead of your Short Circuit 2 buddy.
They could have.
They already put Tila Shire in the goddamn thing. You might as well do the other one they're kind of borrowing from.
You could have had a Karate Kid and fuck, I lost my train of thought. Sorry.
Crossover
That's all right.
I was trying to cross over the villain, Karate Kid. Last House on the Left.
Johnny?
Last House on the Left.
Krug?
No, dude. The cop. I can't. I've met Cobra Kai.
Kreese.
I don't know why.
Kreese.
There. Huh?
That's his name, John Kreese.
No, that's not who I was going with.
I already said Johnny. That's William.
No. No, the head of Cobra Kai, Todd.
That is Reese.
Are you doing character names right now?
Yeah, Martin Cove.
Karate Kid. Martin Cove. There you go. That's what I was looking for. I couldn't think of the name for some reason.
You said the name of the bad guy in Karate Kid. I gave you the name of the bad guy in Karate Kid.
I was going cop in Last House on the Left. Imagine if Martin Cove, who I know, I've met the guy. I've got his autograph on my goddamn wall. Can you imagine if he were the cop in Rad?
And that would have been hilarious.
There
that would have worked too. Still gets the Karate Kid connection.
Yeah. I don't know.
But you know what would have made this movie much better? Dan says he's a big fan of hers all the time, but doesn't even do it. Would have been much better if it was Elizabeth Shue over Lori Loughlin.
Lori Loughlin?
Yeah.
Yeah. How old
Team
was
Aunt
she?
Becky.
Yeah. I was never a Full House guy, but I've talked about that.
But I would stay Moser for sure.
Well, I get that on her.
Does Lori Loughlin really have any talent, though? I mean, she's just like she's.
I don't know what that mouth does.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm sure she gives great kisses, Bugs. I was trying to be good. You guys bring it out, but I thought I was fairly good. But anyways, Rad. Definitely check it out, and it looks beautiful. The transfer is fantastic, and yeah, I would definitely recommend picking this up. It's a good watch right now. Good summer watch too.
Since Dan already took away the one thing I was bringing to the table with the transfer, I guess I'm done.
Oh, well.
That's always like my department, but whatever, Dan.
When I couldn't remember Martin Cove for some reason, my head went.
Yeah, I don't know. Don't know who Martin Cove is. You're just off today.
No,
I'm not a Karate Kid guy.
You be good, Dan, or I'm gonna make you count us out of here.
Kept saying Grease. I'm like, what? Grease? What the
Reese?
Grease. Okay, then I was thinking about Grease. I'm like, wait a minute. What? Martin Cove wasn't in Grease.
I like Grease. And Grease 2.
Oh.
I've only seen the first Grease. It's all right. I've never seen the second one. So
Michelle Pfeiffer.
I know she's in it, and I do have it. I just haven't watched it.
There you go. Well, that could be a movie cherry popper then.
I don't know if Grease 2 qualifies.
Yeah, I'm not particularly excited about that one, but if you wanted to do it. So anyways, guys, patreon.com/fleshwoundfeatures. Help us out. We appreciate it. We have early access to our episodes and a lot of other cool stuff. So check it out. All starts at only $1. Be sure to check out on Facebook, join the Horror Cartel Flesh Wound Radio group, like the Flesh Wound Features Facebook page as well. And yes, on YouTube, be sure to like, subscribe, and especially share, because we are still pretty new to YouTube and we're growing, and we appreciate that very, very much. And stalk us on Instagram, Twitter, listen to us on Blog Talk Radio, Stitcher, Spreaker, iTunes. We are on everything. Spotify. There you go too.
Check out we just did a couple Vinegar Syndrome shows of the more horror content and the adult content. So check those out too. And we have more Vinegar Syndrome coming up this month.
There you go. We had to do Rad without the I was about to say something inappropriate there. See, I stopped myself. It's progress. But yes, we couldn't review Rad with the scantily clad ladies. So there you go. That's all I've got. Stay rad, be rad to each other, and don't be a Todd.
Yeah, sometimes you gotta be, though.